In this video, I'm talking to my private lender, Lara, spelled I-A-R-A, Lara. Lara comes to me and she asks me, Pace, I want to invest in your real estate business. And I walk her through the steps of how we do that. What does that mean for her? What kind of return will she receive? What types of investors I'm looking for? And ultimately, we raise about $175,000 with Lara. So guys, if this video is valuable to you, please smash that like button. It does truly help out our channel. And I can tell you that if you're curious about raising private capital, how to talk to private lenders, what's a script to talk to private lenders, this is one of the scripts that I use almost every time I raise capital. We currently have millions of dollars of other people's money invested in our real estate endeavors, and those investors receive a monthly check every single month. This is how those conversations go. And what's funny is I believe in this video, you either have my daughter or somebody on my sales team behind me in the call. And I'm just telling you, it doesn't faze me. Just get on the phone, talk to people, raise that money, and build your real estate business. Guys, thank you again for being on the YouTube channel. We'll see you in the next one.
Hello.
Hi, Yara, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Now I'm talking to the king.
Well, maybe not the king. Maybe I'm the prince. Who knows?
Oh, it's a prince.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for calling me back, Pace. I don't know if you remember me. I watch all those Sunday services. I love it. And some time ago, I asked how to become a private investor, private lender. And then he said, oh yeah, call me when we can talk.
Love it.
But I didn't have the money at that time.
So now you sold your house, huh?
I sold my condo, and the money is not in my account yet. I think it was late last night. Probably by tomorrow I should have the money on my account.
Love it. How much are you looking to invest?
Well, I don't want to invest all of them. I was thinking that's a question for you. I was thinking about $150,000, and I would keep some for myself.
That's a smart move. I always tell my investors to not invest everything they have. Mm-hmm. You sold your condo. Where are you going to live now?
I used to live in Seattle area, and I moved to Milwaukee. Now I'm here in Milwaukee. I just came like 2 weeks ago.
Good for you. What are you going to do there?
Invest. Follow patience.
I love it. Well, can I tell you a little bit about what we do and maybe the different types of lenders that we have? Mm-hmm. And then after I tell you the different types of lenders, you can just tell me what you think works for you.
Okay.
So I have 3 types of lenders. The first type of lender is pretty rare. We only have about 10 of them. And those lenders have like $50 million. Okay.
No, those are credit lenders, right?
Yeah, those are the kind that I never talk to. They just, they're not really looking to make a lot of money. They just want to preserve their money, and they know that investing with us is really safe. Mm-hmm. And so those are the people that we typically use for our rentals, and we use their money really long term, like 10, 20, 30 years. All they want is a stable check for every month, right?
Wow.
And they usually charge us about 6 to 8% because they're not looking to make a lot of money. They're just looking to make sure they're making more money than they would if they put it in a 401k or the stock market or anything else, right? Mm-hmm. Most of my investors that I talk to do not fit in that category. But I just always have to tell you what kind of lenders we have access to. Okay, so that's lender number 1. Lender number 2 is somebody that's maybe, they're not interested in real estate, so to speak, but they really want to make sure that they're making more money than their 401k or their IRA or whatever as well. And so these are typically like doctors and nurses and people that usually give us about $100,000 to $500,000 at a time. And those people are usually about, I'd say, we're around 10% with them, and they usually have their money with us between 6 to 12 months at a time. And what we use their money for is typically fixing and flipping, and we go fix and flip and we make money, and then they reinvest at the end of 6 months if they want to, or they get their money back at the end of 6 months plus all the interest that they made, right? So a lot of my lenders in that category, they never want to touch the money either. They just keep I have a lady named Desiree, and we have about 100.
I watched that one.
Yeah,
amazing.
So that's actually
the house.
Yeah.
She sold you the house and then invest the money with you.
and I helped her. She's a friend of mine now, and I helped her buy her own house on seller finance.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, of course. So this is the type of lender that just goes, hey, I'm not. She wasn't really interested in investing in real estate on her own, because she's like, I love my career as a nurse. I want to stay in my career as a nurse. I just need additional income. And so the money that she gets from us every single month basically pays for her mortgage. Like, she no longer has a house payment for the rest of her life, which is awesome. And she's happy with that, right? And then the third category is typically somebody who's not going to be with us for a long time. The third category is somebody who is like, I want to learn how to invest myself. And at one point, I want to have my money all back to me so I can invest in my own projects and have full control, and I can make all the profits. And typically that investor will invest in whatever they're interested in, right? So let's say you want to learn how to do more subject to deals. You want to learn how to do more seller finance deals. You want to learn how to do more fix and flips. You tell me what you want to be involved in, and I will put your money to work on projects and houses that you can learn on. So for example, we have a really good communication tool in our company called Slack. Have you ever heard of Slack?
The Slack? No, I don't think I have.
So basically,
it's for the students?
No, it's for my internal company. It's for all of my employees to communicate with each other, so we don't have to call and text and email. It's all in one location.
Okay.
So what happens in Slack is that our investors, I think probably your category 3 is what I'm going to guess, our investors get to be inside of our Slack. So they see all the documents, they see the conversations, they see what we're doing, when we're doing it, why we're doing it, and then you get to see my entire team operate on each individual task inside of each project, so that you learn step by step by step by being a lender in that category, if that makes sense. So same thing there. Our investors in there are typically shorter term, so we have their money for 3 months to a year at a time, and they get their money back for a couple of days, and then they reinvest it into another project. So essentially they're getting a check every single month as long as they want their money invested with us.
And how much interest they get?
They get 10% interest as well, typically. I mean, I used to pay people 12%, but the problem is I have so many people coming to me and wanting me to use their money because they can't find strong, stable investments, that we have people that are offering us money at 6 and 8%. And so it's really hard for me to justify a higher rate than 10%.
Exactly.
So, but category 3 is like most of my investors that invest in category 3, they basically all at some point go on and invest in their own projects because they learn so much by being involved in ours.
Okay, but this is like it's for your employees, but can we, I am not your employee.
Of course, no. Well,
can I attend it?
Of course, if you are my lender, you're part of my team, right?
Oh, okay, that's great.
And so I bring you into the Slack, I show you how to use the Slack, and then you can ask questions, you can, call individual team members. Like, let's say you have a question about, hey, why did you choose that paint color? I don't know, whatever question you might have. You can call or message the person on my team specifically that made the decision about the paint color, right? Same thing with my bookkeeper. If you have a question about, hey, why did you do the paperwork that way? Or why did you report it this way? You can reach out to my bookkeeper and ask those questions directly to them as if you...
That's amazing.
Yeah, of course. It's like $1 million education.
So transparent, yeah.
Yeah. And my lenders like it because not only do we make sure that their money is secured against the property with a promissory note, and they have a lien position against the house, so you're fully secured.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the guarantee. I know that the property is like the collateral, right? The
Yes.
guarantee of the.
So there's four things that we do to secure our lenders. Okay. The first thing that we do to secure you is that you and I put together a promissory note that means that I promise to pay you. Okay, so that promissory note is number one. Number two, we do a deed and trust. Okay, or I'm sorry, a deed of trust. And the deed of trust then records against the property, and it also attaches that promissory note together. And so you have both of those documents recorded and liened against the property. So I can't sell the house without your permission. I can't refinance the house without your permission. I can't go get another lender on the house without your permission. I can't do anything because you're in full control. Okay?
So I am first place.
Yep.
Lien there.
It depends, right? A lot of times, like if I go buy a $500,000 fix and flip, I'm going to go to a hard money lender, and that hard money lender goes in first position, and then you go in second position. Okay? So, and then the third thing that we do is that we always have we purchase a policy from our title company called a lender's policy. Okay, and the lender's policy, essentially, if there's ever anything that goes wrong with paperwork, or there's malpractice, or anything weird happens, the title company guarantees that you'll get your money back. Okay, so that title policy for the lender, I pay for that out of my pocket. Okay, and then the fourth thing that we do is that when you lend your money to us, we actually pay you 2 months up front to make sure that you're always 2 months ahead of us on payments.
You mean the interest?
Yep, the interest.
Okay.
So let's say you give us $150, whatever it is. Let's say your payment is $1,500 a month. What happens is when you lend your money to us, we cut you a check for $3,000 on day one, so that you're always ahead of us.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't want to be like, and the reason we do that is a couple of years ago, we had a vacation, right? And my bookkeeper went on vacation, and it took her like 3 days longer to send out all the checks to our lenders. And the lenders who had been with us for a couple of years, they didn't worry, but there were a few lenders that really thought the whole world was falling apart because they couldn't get a hold of Tony, my bookkeeper, right? So what we decided is we said, let's just never have that situation. So if Thanksgiving happens, or Christmas happens, or New Year's happens, the lender, even if
life happens.
Yeah, life happens. They always have 2 months of interest up front.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So basically, let me tell you a little bit about my situation.
Okay.
I would say that I am between the second and third options there.
Okay.
I am a grandma, 66 years old, and it's just starting.
Of course.
Get excited about investing.
I love it.
And I did all my mistakes already. I don't want to do any more. So that's why I have the paralysis analysis.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. I was doing a job in Seattle, like I was just surviving there, paying my bills and things. So I took this step of faith, decided to quit, sell my condo, and come up here because I know that in Milwaukee the houses are more affordable.
Yes.
But according with you, we don't need the money to buy it if you get subdue or seller financed.
Right.
And that would be my goal, to find something for myself like you found for Desiree. So what I am looking for passive income. Okay. That's the main thing for me right now at my age, and being alone, not having a partner or someone that I can trust to do the business with me.
Understand.
And because I'm afraid of doing by myself, let's say. And then I am between, like, I don't want to have a job anymore that I have to trade my hours for money, my time for money. And that, if I lend it to you, let's say $150,000 at 10% a year, is going to be what, $1,300, $1,400 something.
Yeah, correct.
A month, and I still have another income that will start coming, and I can pay all my bills. Then I feel free to learn how to invest, to learn to do those things.
Love it.
I don't want to stop working at all. I am a very active person. I can't see myself not working.
Right.
But I want to work in those things that I like and that will bring me the money, not to my boss. So what would you suggest in this case for me?
I would suggest a couple of things. We can definitely help you find something. The challenge with finding a house for somebody is that with seller finance or subject to opportunities, I don't get to choose the house, right? The house comes to me based on a seller situation, right? And so what we can do is we can tell all the sub-2 students to start searching in a specific zip code in a specific area, and they'll help find you a house. But it might be 3 months, it might be 9 months, you just never know, right? Or they might find you 10 or 15 opportunities and you go, I don't like that, I don't like that. Okay, that one might work, but it needs too much renovation. And it might just take a little bit of time for us to get to that point, right? So the first thing I would suggest is let's get a search together and let's start having the sub-2 students working on finding that, right? The second thing I would do is I would find a couple of sub-2 students in your local area that you can team up with, and you guys can have a fun time building businesses. And you don't need to build a big business like Pace, you can just build a small business that just does one deal a month, type of thing. And what I would suggest too is maybe are you pretty good with computers?
Grandma is okay.
Okay, well, if you're okay, then you probably will figure this out. I would suggest maybe coming to my office for a week and spending some time with my team and just seeing what we're doing, because we have a lot of strategies and methods on how to find free deals that don't require like cold callers and big CRMs and all these big systems. We have a couple of people on my team, Ashley and Kyle, that you can shadow and you can watch them work all day and see what they're doing, so you can also start implementing it in your local market that won't cost you any money.